What's up, guys? We're back. This is from, I almost said Mob. That Time I Got Reincarnated to Slime, episode 23.
Yep, you had it right this time.
Which is not a recap episode, but in many ways it is one. The real plot or advancement of this episode is probably 7 or 8 minutes. I understand, because I understand what's coming in the future, because you have a major fight, and, you know, the fate of the universe kind of rests on the events that are coming up next.
And you have to have time to focus on that instead of the children.
Yeah, at the same time, I mean, I think they chose to have one major theme in this episode and to not have the fight. At the same time, I think the fight itself and then the events that follow, I don't know where they're going to go with the show, where they're going to end it. So I don't know if it would make sense to, you know, just kept that 7-minute long clip that was the kids and then go to the fight, because they did have probably 4 or 5 minutes recapping.
Yeah, for those that don't know, we just get the whole kids thing resolved, and then we get a flashback to everything that's happened, and it makes you feel good. With that being said, though, I kind of agree. I feel like this episode is more just it's like a theme episode. Like you said, since there's something dire coming at the very end of the season, they want a feel-good episode. But I don't know. To me, I could have left this. I think they could have condensed the previous episode a little bit better, or just reworked it and had this part, tacked on, or at least the parts where they're in the labyrinth, had that at the end of the last episode, and then maybe had the last 5 minutes of this episode into the beginning of the last episode, or this episode, I guess, currently. But with that being said, it is
a decent episode.
Yeah, the kids were something that I think they did pretty well. I think they, for what they are, they were pretty likable, and may play out in the future. Maybe you probably will never see them again, or at least most of them. But yeah, it is something that I feel like was just an odd choice for them to, I don't know, just have this filler thing, because there's so much of the villain, obviously in the next episode that we don't know about. So it would have been nice to have maybe a little bit more set up on that department, but I mean, obviously they want it to be a surprise. So
yeah, we'll have to see what's happening. No news on Leon. Also, we haven't seen more of my boy.
And
Leon.
Beldora is he's freaking out.
He's having Vietnam flashbacks, and at this point, some of us know why, some of us don't.
Yeah.
Also, Rebru got his first kiss. Feels good, man.
He did, by a Queen of Time or a Spirit of Time, which is going to play in. I guess technically, the one guy that we talked to probably should be pretty happy, because I don't think they laid that on too thick in this episode, because
there were some, for those who don't know the source material, it was clear, but it wasn't. I think most of the twists.
They didn't lay it out blatantly obvious, by telling you everything.
Yeah, the one major twist with the one character that we will see playing a major role in the future. I think that was somewhat telegraphed, but at the same time not. We'll have to see how they deal with that, or if they even address it, since Slime's going to figure out what the true nature of that character is later. So we'll see with that. And pretty much, I don't know, we have one episode left. I think they still will have the fight and then the transformation in this season, but I'm not sure. So we'll have to see in the future if they do that.
Do you think the fight's going to be most of the episode? Or do you think it's going to be mostly focused on the aftermath?
The problem is that it's a fight, and then it's another fight, and then it's sadness. So I don't know how they're going to do it. I mean, it almost seems like this was a finale, and then the next episode should be clips in between.
Well, it did. The next episode is titled "Extra Black and Mask" or whatever.
Something like that.
So I guess that's going to be kind of what they're going for, just having it as a tack on. This is the true ending. But if you want to be sad and completely waiting for the next season, then watch the next episode. But yeah, I'm just hoping that it's not too fast, because I think this show, and kind of another show that kind of reminds me of it, at least going on this season, is Mob. The fight scenes, as much as they are cool and pretty over the top in some cases, the fight scenes don't last very long, and so that's one thing I hope that we actually get to see. Because I know, the whole Cherubus thing, supposed to take, 12 hours or whatever, but, we only saw, 5 minutes of that maybe, and we never saw, Riverdale actually fighting it, really. Or maybe, 1 or 2 spells. So I hope there's more to it than that in this next one. So I guess we'll have to wait and see.
We'll see
how they adapt it, and if it's really good. Do you think you'll be content with them leaving off at this point?
I don't know. It's hard because like the whole tone of the show switches after this one event happens, so it's kind of hard to end beforehand. But with how like the advertising campaign for the show and how popular it was, it would make sense for them to end and not include like the next fight and stuff. But I don't know, we'll see.
I think, if it changes drastically, then I feel like you kind of have to have it in this season so people don't get shell shocked going into the next one. Maybe. But I don't know. Maybe that's more like a marketing brain I have going on there. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to having like a more darker, 360 turn, or I guess maybe like 180 would be the more mathematical term that's correct.
A 10-degree turn, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's basically all I have to say because, gonna get a fight. I'm not really sure if there's much in the next episode to really talk about except who's all dead. If there is people dead. No spoilers.
Man.
But, and then also like just how we thought the fight played out. But, with this episode, did you like the flashback? I feel like to me, that doesn't highlight a show or like how good. I don't know. I just find flashback things really irrelevant. Whenever it like highlights, like, oh, look at all this journey.
I think it should be like almost. I mean, I know OVAs are different, but I think I don't think it should be main part of the canon of the show. Like, if you want to have a flashback, here's a flashback. That you can watch one episode.
Like, I think it makes sense if you're trying to, set up, or well, maybe if you're wanting to explain. I know that gets a little bit frustrating because then it's like they're spoon feeding you it. But like, I understand that a little bit more if they do that approach than just having this thing where like, we just came up with like 8 minutes of material and we didn't know what to do, so we just gonna reuse animation and cue it up to a song. Which, by the way, the song was good, but I don't know. It's just me personally. I can deal without that.
Also, we're definitely not going to see Veldora this season.
Yeah, that's a bummer, man. But it will be a great banger when he comes back.
True.
As a manga enthusiast.
True. All right, well, that's pretty much it, Edix. So hopefully next week we'll know a conclusion if we do get that fight, if we don't, or if that's the end of the season. So.
Yep. So I guess we'll see you for episode 24. Yeah.
Later, Edix.
Peace. Wrong hand.